Sometimes when you right, you right. Let's go.
Took some overtime to get the time right. Had to lose a little mind to get my mind right. Finally realized, but in hindsight, you wanted the limelight. Me priority never once. You kept close but never really wasn't. I accept you like a focus. Agree with all your choices. Needed you to need me. Needed you to see me. Until I found the right direction, I think my reflection would agree. Had to find the me in me.
The Short Sport by King David Jordan.
Sometimes when you right, you right. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Welcome to the King Joe Show. Like sometimes when you right, you just right. You know, everybody try to hate, everybody say this, that, the other. But when you're right, sometimes you just right. Sometimes when you say something, when you talk about something, when you're breaking something, people look at you and be like, "Oh, he's crazy." Sometimes they be, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about." You know, they say all this stuff, and then when you sit there and say, "Hey, I'm not crazy," when you sit there and say, "Hey," sometimes when you're right, you're right. You know, sometimes. Thank you. Welcome to the King Joe Show. I am a host to King Joe. And, you know, and sometimes when you're going and you're talking and you're doing different things, you're trying to get, you're saying different things and you're giving your opinion on different things. A lot of times people think that you're crazy. When you're giving your takes and you're analyzing it and you're kind of taking your feelings out of it, a lot of times people think that you're just making up stuff. But when you sit there and you actually study the game and you actually analyze the game, what's up, Can You Relate? How you doing? You gotta watch the show today. It's crazy. And Can You Relate? You can relate. Right? So when you sit here and you're saying certain things and you're talking about certain things, and you know, the first thing people will start doing is calling you a hater. They say, "Oh, he's a hater. Oh, he's this, he's that. He doesn't like people. He doesn't like black people." You know, they'll say all types of men of evil against you because you're telling the truth. Because you're being honest. Right? And the problem is, it's problematic if you take your feelings and your heart out of it and you look at things from an analytical situation. A lot of times you can make better decisions. A lot of times you can make more informed decisions. A lot of times you can be a little bit better. And when we're talking about with the Angel Reese situation and everything that we talk about with Angel Reese, there are a lot of things that goes into this thing that's very nuanced. The conversation is very nuanced. And you have white people that have their collective size. You have black people that have their collective size. And then you have those of us that are in the middle that's like, "Hey, man, we just try to be objective." And even before Angel Reese was drafted, I was one of the ones that said, "Hey, not that she's a horrible player, not that she's a bad person, none of that." And I did have some issues with her character, and I had some issues with some of the things that she was doing and some of the things that she said. But not that she's a horrible player, not that she's a bad player. But I was just like, yo, at the end of the day, we legitimately, I think it's a bad pick. And people was like, "What?" I was like, "I think it's a bad pick." That's like, "What do you mean you think it's a bad pick?" I said, "Yo, I just think the Angel Reese pick is a horrible pick." And they was like, "Well, how, King, how do you feel like it's a horrible pick?" And I had the video. I had the evidence. And I said, the reason is because they drafted Cardoso early in the first round. I think Cardoso's number 3. They drafted Cardoso at number 3. You drafted Angel Reese at number 7. Then you had to trade. Last night, I was telling you guys about the trade. And I'll tell you the issue that Chicago had with the trade, Chicago Sky had with the trade because they don't have a pick at the beginning of this year. They don't have a upcoming first round draft pick, an early first round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? What happened was when they got Angel Reese, they turned around and they traded up to get Angel Reese. They traded with the Lings, I think it is. I think it is Minnesota. Minnesota, that's right. No, they traded with Minnesota. Now, this is why last night I was trying to explain to y'all, and the guy said it on the TV. He talked about it on the television. On April 13, 2025, and this is going to lead to why they're in the situation they was. The Chicago Sky announced today they acquired the number 11 pick overall in the 2025 draft for Chicago. Exchange for Chicago and Minnesota agreed to extinguish Minnesota's right to swap the team's own 2026 first round draft pick. In order to move up to number 7, which they used to draft Angel Reese last year's draft, Sky sent the rights to swap the 2026 picks with Minnesota as a part of the trade package. Now Minnesota will hold the Sky's 2026 draft pick without having to swap their own, as the Sky obtained another first round draft pick in 2025. And that first round draft pick they got was Haley Van Lith, right? So we believe that the 2025 draft pick is deep, and they had the draft pick number 10 and draft pick number 11, right? Then they had number 16 and number 22. Then they had number 16 and number 26. Now, all that's to say that coming up this year, even though the Sky is having a horrific year, there is no silver lining at, okay, at least we'll get an early first round draft pick, because they won't. That's why last night during the game, if you was paying attention, during the New York game when the Sky got beat, when they was down by 34, the guy actually, the commentator actually said, listen, we don't know where's the pot at the end of the goal. We don't know where the lights at the end of the tunnel, because the Sky don't have a 2026 early first round draft pick. Matter of fact, it fell out. And that was largely because of the trade that they made for Angel Reese to move up to get Angel Reese. Now, fast forward to this year. This happened last year. Fast forward to this year, and now Chicago Sky is now 2-6, and they're losing games at an average of over 20 points. The 2 games that they won, they were, bottom feeder teams that they beat. And if you look at the roster, the offense that their coach is trying to run, Tyler Marsh is running, does not work with the current group of players that they have. Now, Chicago, we give Tyler Marsh a hard time. We do. We beat Tyler Marsh down on the head, but let's give Tyler Marsh a little bit of grace that we're going to give some of the other players too, was that Chicago made some horrible decisions during the offseason. Some horrible decisions. And one of those, everybody knows, and everybody's been talking about the fact that they got rid of Kennedy Carter. And we was like, what are you doing? Kennedy Carter is one of the illest in the building. Secondly, they got rid of Kennedy Carter, and they put all their stock in a 38-year-old point guard with Van Sloot. Now, if you fast forward, Van Sloot is hurt. And with Van Sloot being hurt, now the team is sitting here like, man, we can't score. And I was told y'all at the beginning of the year, I made it clear to you guys that the problem with the Chicago Sky is they don't have scoring. And Ariel Atkins can get up there and do all the defendings on the podium that she can about Angel Reese. But at the end of the year, at the end of the day, Ariel Atkins needs to score buckets. And she's not scoring buckets. Can Relay say, when you speaking from a logical place, it hurts. People live in la la land. And all we do is just telling y'all truth and try to give you guys the setup about what I was about to say. Now, when I said in the earlier show, if you guys remember, I said, I'm trying to tell y'all, I think Angel Reese is gone by midseason. I said, I think Angel Reese is gone by midseason. And you guys thought it was a joke. I said, what's up? Just a kid from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, you remember this? I made this comment. I said, Angel Reese is probably going to be gone by midseason. Either her or Cardoso. And I was like, why, King? And I was like, because they don't fit. It doesn't fit. You got 2 bigs that go down low. If you watch the film and the tape, the reason Angel Reese gets so many rebounds, offensive rebounds, is because when the person shoots, she crashes the glass and she's down low. But guess who else wants to get those rebounds? Cardoso. Guess who else was crashing the gas? We were seeing when they went down low to Cardoso. Cardoso was doing a spin move, and she went to turn, and she went to shoot, and Angel Reese was right there. That's about to kiss each other. Why? Because Angel Reese is trying to crash the gas to get the rebound. But what they need is somebody to have spacing. So it hurts that you have spacing. King, why are you going through this? Why are you getting this? We saw the topic says that they might be trading Angel Reese. This is why. So I was telling you guys at the beginning of the season, I told you guys during the draft last year, I said it was a bad move. It was a bad move for them to draft Cardoso and Angel Reese. It could work. And I was like, no, it can't. Because the skill sets conflict. They have similar skill sets. They both like to bang down low. They both like to live down in the paint. Neither one of them likes to shoot threes. Angel Reese is shooting 1 for 4. I think she's taking 4. She hit 1. She's shooting like 33%. And our overall shooting percentage is like 30%. You can't spread the floor like that. Even though Cardoso is shooting more like 50% down low in the paint, I think it's 48% in the paint. But guess what? They both are crowding. They're both crowded the interior, which means there's no way to go out. And the issue is this: Tyler Marsh wants to run. But now you don't have a point guard. So all this is saying, and I called this early. I said, hey, man, by mid-year, man, they're going to have to make a trade. It's going to have to be a trade. And people's like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, no, I do know what I'm talking about. They're going to have to make a trade. They're going to get, I said, you can't give it past mid-year because what can you build on? You can't build on it because their games are 2. So what happens? Oh, y'all know. y'all know what happens. The news broke yesterday and nobody's talking about it. I was like, how am I the first person to talk about this? How's nobody talking about this? And now nobody in the media is talking about the rumors and the news is breaking that's happening now. Fairweather Angel Reese, Chicago's got a plan to surprise the trade to solve its serious problems. And this isn't just coming from this one news article. This is big news all day yesterday. And I'm like, why nobody didn't cover this? Why aren't people covering this? Everybody's talking about, look, this is what I want to show you. Fairweather, look at all this. Fairweather Angel Reese, Chicago Sky may plan to surprise the trade to solve it. Chicago facing Angel Reese trade decision as an injury. Chicago Sky makes recent announcement after loss of liberty. Chicago Sky Angel Reese prays Buckets team up a possibility. How is this a possibility? Why? Because she does not fit in the system. The system can't have both of them. Now this is what happened. Let's read. Fairweather Angel Reese, Chicago Sky may plan a surprising trade to solve a serious problem. Chicago Sky may find themselves in a precarious situation. They have a 2. This is before the game last night. They have a 2-6 record now, following a difficult loss to New York. While the defensive effort was commendable, limiting Indiana to 79, this is when the Indiana team, the Sky offense hit a historic low, managing 52 points. The franchise lowest output since 2011. This is the offensive drop. Compounding that early season struggle, Sky announced a season injury to Courtney Van Sloot, which I don't understand why they got Courtney Van Sloot to begin with, because Courtney Van Sloot was a 38-year-old point guard, and you're resting your whole entire franchise on a 38-year point guard. In the W. Now we won't even do that in the biz NBA. But in the W, you gotta do that. Compounding that early season struggle, Sky announced a season injury to Courtney Van Sloot, who sustained a torn ACL during an ill-fated game against the Fever. Van Sloot, cornerstone of Chicago's offense, had been averaging 12 points, 6.2 assists per contest in her 6 appearances prior to the injury. Her absence leaves a gaping hole in the team's playmaking and veteran leadership. In Van Sloot's immediate absence, rookie backup point guard Haley Van Lith was thrusted into a more prominent role, playing 26 minutes against the Fever. However, her stat line reflected the challenge of the moment, as she contributed just 7 points, 0 assists, while committing 3 costly turnovers. Van Lith is still very new to the WNBA with only 63 minutes of total playing time under her belt. And I told you before, and this is, once again, this is at Tyler Marshall's feet, because I tried to tell y'all, hey, get Van Lith and what's her name, Westwell, get them playing time. You're not going to win the Super Bowl. You're not going to win the championship this year. That's when I had hair. Y'all remember when I had hair? I had on the white shirt. I said, they're not going to win the championship this year. So get Haley Van Lith playing time. Get these younger guys playing time so you see what you have. All right? Van Lith is new to the WNBA, 63 minutes. Further complained the point guard situation ongoing absence of Mariah Jefferson, who has yet featured this season due to a leg injury. With their primary ball handling sideline, the Chicago Sky may have to find themselves in a precarious position, particularly needing to explore a trade market for an impact point guard. However, acquiring a top-tier talent will become a significant cost, as highlighted by Sky reporter Carly Bell. Now, this is an inside beat reporter for the Chicago side. According to Bell, the only feasible way for Chicago to secure a lead guard without incurring substantial salary cap hit would be involved parting ways with either rising star Angel Reese or Camila Cardoso. Who you going to do? And listen, y'all already know where I stand on this. Right? According to Bell, the only feasible way for the Chicago Sky to land a guard without incurring substantial salary cap hit would be involving parting ways with their rising star, Angel Reese or Camila Cardoso. If you're doing a favor, hit the like and subscribe. Thank you guys for joining the King Joe Show. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. Because we're the only one that's going to give you this ahead of time, give you early, give you legitimate, let you know what's legitimately going on. And the way I see things, sometimes I'm right, but more times I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I said the opposite. Sometimes I'm like that. I was just wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong, but more times I'm right. I'm more right than wrong all the time. All right? But Coach Bell, all right, so listen. They absolutely could, but then say goodbye to either Angel Reese or Camila Cardoso, Bell wrote, emphasizing the difficult choice. If the Sky wanted to go get another point guard quickly, this is the fastest way to do it without taking the salary cap hit. Both Reese and Cardoso are big names that draw in the fans and are absolutely big trade capital for the Sky. Bell elaborated the potential parameters of such a deal, suggesting a 2-for-1 type trade, Cardoso or Reese for 2 guards or a guard and a wing. She even identified several WNBA teams that might have both the desire and means to engage in such a blockbuster trade, including the Las Vegas Aces, the Dallas Wings, the Golden State Valkyries, Connecticut Sun, or the Seattle Storm. Reese, who made the 2024 WNBA All-Star team in her rookie season, averaged an impressive 13.6 points and a league leading 13 rebounds. All them numbers are down. I'm talking about all of them. The rebounds and the points. She's 9 points and 12 rebounds, something like that. All those numbers are down. So it wasn't like we was just sitting here talking and making sandwiches. We were legitimately trying to give you guys the heads up from the beginning of what was going to happen. Right? We're telling you guys what was going to happen from the beginning of the things that we saw. It wasn't putting nobody down. It wasn't like this. And I think this is the issue too, because I know a lot of the Reese's Pieces, I'll be like, here you go. But Reese's Pieces, let's be fair. Before last night, he said nobody was Reese on their team. All right. Before last night, Reese's Pieces, what were you saying? Oh, we might need to get Angel off the team. Even after last night. After last night, I saw the Reese's Pieces talking about getting rid of Angel need a new environment. She ain't got no help on her team. She needs some better players. After she struggled all year, finally had a good game, they want to be like, oh, now she needs some new players. She needs some help on her team. She can't do it by herself. She can't do it by herself. And that's what everybody's been saying. This isn't me making up stuff. This is what people have been legitimately saying at this time. And one of the great possibilities, and I think it may work, because I think you may could get Enrique and somebody else, or a couple of players. You definitely want Enrique. If I'm gonna make this straight, I'm definitely getting Enrique. And this is one of the things that they said. If you saw, this is coming from this is Chicago again. This is Chicago Sky. This is coming from Chicago. Go back to the split screen. Let's read this next article. This is another article real quick. The Chicago Sky Angel Reese page Buckets team up is possibility via trade. This is 22 hours ago. This is June 10th. This was yesterday. Via trade, they could be teaming up with Paige Buzzard. The Chicago Sky believe in Paige's ability through the draft. The team would use the remainder of the season to develop young core Haley Van Lith, Angel Reese, and Camila Cardoso. That's what I said at the beginning of the season. It didn't take a rocket science to see that they wasn't going to be good this year. Heading to the season, the plan for the Sky was to have Van Lith behind veteran point guard Van Sloot. Unfortunately, Van Sloot suffered the season injury. Now, the concerns of Van Lith isn't ready to lead Chicago's offense, quite frankly. Reese can't pick up enough of the offensive slack. The forward and the head coach Tyler's Marshall scheme, Reese and Van Lith are shooting worse than 31% together. That's crazy. Both of them are shooting worse than 31%. And made up two of the team's 3 worst shooters through 7 games. Angel Reese is like literally one of the worst shooters in the league. All right, so listen to what they said. Listen to what they said. Asking both players to be the starting lineup is a disaster. 205, the 2-6 now. Sky reporter Carly Bell suggested that the Sky would go both Reese and Cardoso big names. We read that earlier. Now, what does that have to do with Paige Buckets? Angel Reese and Paige Buckets team up. This is the team that I think could actually happen. Reese could team up with Angel Reese or Paige Buckets in the wings. In addition, Reese on Dallas will make tickets for the wings home games up even more. They could become more entertaining duos in the coming season. I would love to see that happen. Let's be honest. If you got Reese and Buckets, that would be dope. Reese and Paige Buckets would be go. And I think it could work because I think you can trade Enrique. Because the issue with everybody in Enrique is that she's shooting too much. But that's the one thing that Chicago needs is a guard who can score. Because Rachel Banham is too inconsistent. You know, Van Lith isn't quite ready yet. But you put Enrique on there, you got somebody who can handle the ball and who can score anytime. Listen, this is crazy. And I'm just shocked that I'm the first one to say this. Well, you know, I said it before. You know, I'm the first one to report on this when the reporters have been reporting on this all day because it's a thing. They're seeing exactly what I'm seeing. The issue with the Chicago Sky is they don't have anyone that can go get a bucket. That's the issue with the Chicago Sky. They don't have anyone that can get a bucket. And guess what? If they got Reese and Buckets, Paige Buckets and Angel Reese, that's must-see TV. I can't, even as an Indiana fan, I can't hate on that. I want to see that. I want to see that happen. If I see Angel Reese and Paige Buckets, that's must-see TV. Still isn't quite as exciting. It's still not quite. I mean, but that is must-see. I really want to see that. You know, it's still not as quite. It's not as quite as exciting as going with. I mean, it's super. I know even the biggest Angel Reese hater, even the biggest Reese's Pieces eater, would be like, "Yo, I want to see that. I just want to see the dynamic of how this would work." Paige Buckets and Angel Reese, WNBA. If you're smart, you make it happen. You make it happen right now. Chicago, if you're smart, you make it. You see Enrique, you still got Cardoso, you still got Van Lith, you still got Ariel Atkins, you still got, I think Westball is going to be all right. I think she got a nice little package. The 16 piece, she got a nice little package. Last night, she missed a couple shots, but once she gets situated with the game, she got a nice little turnaround fade, a 3-point shot. She got a nice little package. I'm just saying, if this happens, and you got Buckets and Reese on the same team, and we've been hearing what's been happening in Dallas is the fact that Buckets and Paige Buckets and Enrique, they've been having issues saying that Enrique is shooting too much. They said Enrique is shooting too much. Come on, Mark, that's me. Eduardo, what's going on? David, how you doing? Can you relate? Shanks, what's going on? That would be must-see TV. All I'm saying is they're starting to put it out in the media that, hey, we might need to be getting rid of Angel Reese. And it comes down to who do you see having more of an upside in their career? Angel Reese or Camila Cardoso? It's going to come down to who do you think has more upside. And I think after the game that Angel Reese has last night, this will be the best time to make that trade because her stock is not going to be more higher than what it is. I agree, DJ. I agree. What's up, Brett? Eduardo, what's going on, bro? All this is going on. I'm telling you guys, this is the situation that's happening. And if you put Paige Buckets on Angel Reese, I'm talking about instantly, they become one of the most exciting stories in the WNBA. Now, would they win games? Probably not right away. But at least they would become one of the exciting stories. Oh, my God. Then you got Dejanay. You got Dejanay with them? Oh, Lord Jesus. They will be, listen, they would be one of the toughest teams out there, though. You know, you got Dejanay, you know, Paige, Angel. That's a big three. Now you have to find out what to do with Smith. But come on, man, it's Smith. I mean, come on, you can get rid of her. That's not a big deal. Hey, I do agree. Last night's game when Angel to me was not. I mean, it was smoke and mirrors, right? It was smoke and mirrors. A lot of those shots. We played the video last night. If you have not seen my video, go watch my video last night. We played the video last night. Last night games where Angel was a lot of smoke and mirrors. A lot of those shots she was wide open. And like I said yesterday, watch my video. We talk about that. It was a lot of the game plan is let her shoot. She's shooting under 30. She's shooting about 30%. So that's 1 in 3. She's probably gonna miss one. She's probably gonna miss the first shot, getting rebounds a couple times, and she's doing a better job finally of passing out after she gets the rebound. Because like I said, the game plan is once she shoot and she misses, everybody just crowd around her and put your hands up. She's not gonna throw the ball. She's gonna keep shooting. But now she's starting to shoot back, throw it back out because she got wide open players around the perimeter. Because the game plan is let her shoot. And it's a good game plan. First half, she was 5 for 6. Second half, she went back to being down. She went back to being under 50%. You know, and it is what it is. But you're gonna have to make a trade. Like I said at the beginning, you know, there's a bad mix. I think Angel Reese is maybe on the move, or Cardoso could be on the move. Could be on the move. I like that, but I can't hate as much as I pick at Angel Reese and I have fun with her and the Reese's Pieces. I can't hate that Paige Beckett's and Angel Reese duo will be pretty exciting. Not quite as exciting as that young lady born January 22nd, 2002 for the Morris Hour. Not quite as exciting as that 6 foot University of Iowa, Darwin Catholic High School, weighing 157 pounds, the number 1 draft pick, the all-time NCAA scoring champ, that number 1 draft. Not quite as exciting as the Rookie of the Year, the assist leader, 3-point leader, none other than Queen Caitlin. Not quite as excited as Queen Caitlin, baby. No. Let's not get it twisted. It would be exciting, but Queen Caitlin is must-see TV. And anybody that watched that game last night, they understand that Caitlin Clark is different. Anybody that watched Atlanta, that was one of the worst games I've seen in basketball in a long time was Atlanta and Indiana last night. Now, while I think Angel Reese getting traded to Dallas would be a big deal and her and Paige Buckets would be great together, it still ain't quite exciting as seeing Caitlin Clark run that offense up in Indiana. Listen, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to be back a little bit later to talk about, man, what is Stephanie White doing? Oh, my God. Jesus, Stephanie. Come on. Good Lord. We got to pray for Stephanie. We don't know what Stephanie doing out here these days. Kelly, get ready. All right, Austin. Keep it. If y'all don't know Austin Kelly, Austin, stay on the ready, Austin Kelly. You guys seems like you ready, Austin Kelly. Austin seems like you ready, Kelly. I don't know what's going on with Stephanie. And you know, she got a lot going on because you know her and her girlfriend. You know, let me hug you. Yeah, she got a. Yeah, y'all know who's Stephanie White girlfriend. Lisa Salter. Lisa Salter, you know, they having some family issues. So that can sometimes affect you. But we'll come back and talk about that a little bit later. Y'all, thank y'all so much. It's your boy, Key Joe. Well, let me know in the comment section. Should they trade Angel or should they trade Cardoso? Y'all let me know. Which one should they trade? Or should they keep him and ride it out for the rest of the season? Keep it in. Let us know. What's up, Sean? Mark, Brett, everyone. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. If you can, stop right now. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Carmen. Eduardo. Thank you guys so much. Mr. SC Bread. So I said, how can you talk to it? Hey, if it's not going to work, it's not work. You got to see it early. You got to jump on it early. Mr. SC Bread, he said, how can you say trade at the ticket? You got to jump on it early. You got to be early. I was talking trade at the 2 game. That's how I saw them lose the 2 games by 50 points. They lose the game by an average of 20 points. Trust me, it's not going to get better than it was. You got to look at the schedule, see who they get ready to play. They get ready to play some good teams. They haven't even played that the number 1 team yet. She ain't even seen. She got a lot of it. It's a long way to go. Long way to go. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a good, great day. Let me know in the comment section what you think. We'll be back a little bit later. It's your boy, King Joe. Peace. We're trying to figure out a way to keep McDonald. We're trying our best. They said it's almost impossible. But the player that we need to get rid of, we can get rid of Harris. We can keep McDonald. If we keep McDonald makes us a legitimate championship contender because she can press the ball like nobody else can. I hope we can keep her, but they saying it sounds very great. How you doing, Doc? What's up, Carmen? Great to see you too. Hey, y'all be blessed. Have a great day.